This is a sports catastrophe production. Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cutter now, and welcoming you to another sports catastrophe on this day. And on this day, March the 16th, 1994, Tanya Harding does the right thing in her mind and pleads guilty to hindering the investigation towards what her husband and stool pigeons did to try to destroy Nancy Kerrigan at the 1994 U.S. figure skating Olympic trials. Obviously, this isn't like the day that they met at Lillehammer in 94, but you know, this is when basically Harding basically pled guilty. So, here's the background. Nancy Kerrigan was a very good was a good figure skater who in January 94 was about to take place in the U.S. Figure Skating Championships in Detroit. Her main rival was Tanya Harding. And basically, this was just days before they started the competition and all that. The Winter Games would take place in February. And basically, the United States had two female skaters representing the United States. And all that. But Tanya Harding was a little bit afraid that she wasn't going to make it to the U.S. Make it on the U.S. Olympic team. So she decided to try to get some help. And her ex-husband was Jeff Gillooly. The couple worked together at the time and still referred to each other as husband and wife. Basically, Sean Eckert, a friend of Gillooly's, who was actually Harding's bodyguard, was hired by the figure skating after she got anonymous death threats. Another associate by the name of Derek Smith was paid over $6,000 to carry out the attack. Gillooly gave Eckert the money. Shane Stant, who was Smith's nephew, planned to carry out the attack by himself and headed to Cape Cod, where Kerrigan's home rink was in 1993, but couldn't find her. So Stant found out where she was at the Nationals in Detroit and basically decided to attack it. Gillooly basically said that it was too likely to carry out the attack in Detroit because they would be caught, and instructed Eckert to wire Stant's funds to return home without carrying out the attack. However, Eckert decided to wire the funds to Smith, who would go to Detroit with Stant. Basically, they needed to carry out the attack together. So January 6, 1994 happens. Kerrigan was practicing for the U.S. Championships inside Coble Arena, where the championships were going to be. And a camera crew was recording a practice session and showed her leaving the rink and walking through a curtain down the hallway. So the camera cuts off. But then the camera crew basically heard someone screaming and all that, and found Kerrigan in the hallway hurting. Stant basically approached Kerrigan from behind, extended the baton, struck her lower right thigh, and walked away. He managed to escape from the arena by smashing through a locked glass door, and Smith was waiting outside to be a getaway driver. The camera crew found Kerrigan sitting on the floor crying, and she basically goes, why? I don't know, someone with a hard stick, something really, really hard. Basically, news programs would carry that around the world. So basically, Harding was interviewed, and Harding says, well, there's someone she knew planned to attack Nancy. And basically, Harding said, I've definitely thought about it. No one controls my life but me. If there's something in there I don't like, I gotta change it. Harding actually spoke with FBI agents in Detroit and Portland. Eckert and Smith would then be arrested January 13th. And on January 14th, the Figure Skating Association made a statement on whether Eckert's arrest actually affected Tanya Harding's Olympic placements. We will deal only with the facts. Basically, there was a lot of issues and all that. Harding's lawyer read a statement that said that his client could not have been part of the involvement to attack Kerrigan and all that. However, February 5th, the disciplinary panel of the U.S. figure skating thing said there was reasonable grounds, said that Hardy basically violated the sports code of ethics. Her admitted failure to report about assault on a fellow competitor, supported by her transcripts to the FBI, led to her being charged with making false statements about her knowledge. Basically, she had to face a disciplinary hearing and all of that. They were hoping to suspend Harding's membership with the Figure Skating Association. However, they soon realized that Harding could have an injunction against the Figure Skating Association and would still be able to compete in the Olympics and all that. There were notes found in a saloon trash bin in Portland on January 30th, and Harding was given 30 days to respond and all that. Just before the Olympics on February the 1st, Galuli's attorney negotiated a plea agreement in exchange for testimony regarding all parties in the attack. He was given 2 years in prison after publicly apologizing to Kerrigan, even though he said, any apologizing coming from me rings hollow. Galuli and Eckert were guilty of racketeering, and Stan Smith pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit second-degree assault. Now, the attack on Kerrigan could have been much worse if Stant and Smith did it pretty well, but they just got her by. So basically, Kerrigan was okay to skate and allowed to compete in the Olympics, too. So basically, Harding and Kerrigan would be part of the 94 Winter Olympics. Karma bit Harding in the ass as she basically had issues with her skate blades, and she would only finish 8th in the Olympics. Whereas Nancy Kerrigan took silver, losing to Oksana Bayul of the Ukraine. But Kerrigan was not the perfect American sweetheart and all that. Basically, a couple of PR things basically ruined her, some standing to her. She basically was seen on camera criticizing Oksana Bayul because she didn't come out for the medal ceremony on time. And basically, they had to wait for Bayul to skate out to get her gold. And Kerrigan said that basically she's just doing her hair and all that. She's a mess. And basically, during a Disney parade for Nancy Kerrigan, she basically told Mickey Mouse, this is corny and all that. So, yeah. So, Kerrigan got the silver. At least Kerrigan got something going. But as I said, March 16th, Harding did plead guilty to conspiracy to hinder prosecution as a Class C felony offense. They had a plea agreement ensuring no further prosecution and all that. Harding's penalties were 3 years of probation, a $100,000 fine, and 500 hours of community service. She agreed to reimburse the county $10,000 in legal expenses, undergo psychiatric examination, and gave money to the Special Olympics Oregon. That's not bad. But the sentencing guidelines in Oregon meant she could have served 5 years for her thing and all that. Basically, Harding was stripped of her 94 U.S. championship and banned for life from figure skating. As you can be a skater or a coach and all that. Basically, after the 94 Olympics, Harding was nowhere to be seen and all that. So basically, Harding it worked out for Kerrigan, as you probably would have guessed. So, in the end, Harding got what she deserved. A lot of failure and all that. She tried to be a pro boxer, failed miserably, and basically, she just didn't take accountability for her actions. Do you feel sympathetic with her? Because I don't. I'm Jeff Diamond. I'll do.